Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Capitalist Investor. As always, you have me, Diamond Hands D, and we got Tony the Tiger and Cool Hand Luke. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Living the dream.
Nice. Yeah, big Thanksgiving show this week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in hot.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about turkeys, talking stocks. We're going to talk some stocks today.
I love food. I can't wait to pick out. I really can. I'm so excited just to dig into stuffing. I'm sure we'll hit on like our favorite Thanksgiving foods. I'll start off stuffing. Oh my gosh!
Hey, I know we'll talk about it, but I'm just gonna get it right now.
Great.
I mean, let's just get rid of it.
This is great
This
stuff.
is what the people want.
That's right. Stuffing and turkey's overrated. I'd rather have ham. Just saying.
So I made one of my relatives makes this. I don't know. It's like cranberry in a can, you know, like the big red cylinder looking thing. Yeah, right in the bowl. It's got the ribs on it, right? Ooh. Well, my one relative makes sandwiches. I call them sandwiches, and I actually call them beet sandwiches. And they keep on yelling at me like, it's cranberry, and I'm like, you made a sandwich out of that thing. I call it whatever I want.
That's right.
They basically take that thing, they cut it up, they put cream cheese in the middle of it.
Oh,
right. And so the one year I call them like. Was just messing with everybody. I'm like, hey, Aunt Deb, while you're in the kitchen, can you go grab those beet sandwiches? And everyone just started laughing. So actually, this year, my surprise to the whole family is that I made everyone a beet sandwich shirt.
It's not a surprise anymore. You know?
It's like,
Hopefully
can you please pass the beet sandwiches? It's a red shirt with what? Dude, it's gonna be electric. I got a.
Can you like bring one in for me like next
I'll show
week?
you the picture of it, but
okay.
I got a beet caricature holding a sandwich. Dude, it is electric. I'm going to turn that house upside down.
winning Thanksgiving. I love it. I love it.
All right.
But yeah, I think you're right, Luke. Stuffing, definitely the best.
I agree. Yeah,
without question.
I just tell it how it is, Derek. You know?
Yeah.
Corn right on top of the mashed potatoes, man.
Yeah, I'm a big. I do like the mixing.
Yeah,
I do like that. Usually, like the next day, make a little snack. Just turkey, mashed potatoes.
The diet
stuffing.
Officially starts after Thanksgiving, right? The diet officially starts
on Monday.
That's right. We got some interesting stuff today. I know today we're talking OpenAI, Microsoft. There's some heat coming in over there. With what's going on with CEOs or no longer CEOs, things like that. We're talking Black Friday, kind of like we talked about earlier, about savings versus pre-savings before the pandemic, or savings after the pandemic, and then compared to pre-pandemic savings. Are you actually
basically there's nothing going to be on sale this year is what they're saying. So we'll talk
Number
about
4,
that.
We're going to talk about how to survive holiday budget. How do you buy things for under $10, essentially? So
basically somebody on TikTok
You're hot today, jeez.
made a Thanksgiving dinner for $10. Serves one, but it's $10. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
And we got, I'm sure, canceled that you guys came in hot with, which we'll get to.
Yeah, I don't know. Did we have one cancel? It's more stocks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're gonna have a cancel.
Well, we're canceling the stock market because all it does is go up apparently now. So anyway, number 1, OpenAI, Microsoft. So essentially, the OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. It's the technology AI that everybody talks about nowadays. Their CEO was just fired, which kind of blindsided Microsoft. Apparently, Microsoft did not have any idea this was happening until like 10 minutes before it actually happened.
Why are they pissed off? Because what I see is that they're 49% owner.
Yeah.
Of this,
they invested $10 billion into this thing,
right?
Like, 6 months ago or something.
They own 49%, but they have no control over the board, and the board fired that dude.
Yep.
now they're like, what do we do with him?
Right.
Or like all the employees want to follow this guy because he's, I guess, a great CEO and things like that. So I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Right. But I mean, the question you have to ask is why did this happen? Why?
What does that do for Microsoft?
It just really. So I'm sure Microsoft talked very intensively with the old CEO, right? And had some plans about future growth, things like that, right? Now the fact that they were kind of blindsided by this means they may have to revisit all their strategic planning over the next year or 2 years of execution. I mean, there's all kinds of cloud service software.
Didn't Microsoft just hit like all-time highs too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they were thinking about Microsoft was thinking about incorporating this technology into like the Word documents and PowerPoint, all this stuff, right?
So I need a computer to write all my stuff. I'm done writing.
I'm not saying that, the CEO not being around is going to change his plans, but there's definitely some more planning and things that need to be talked about again, right? especially as we enter into next year. And as we all know, next year might be very important to make sure you're hitting your numbers, because if we are right about the economy, recession, things like that.
I thought it was pretty interesting. OpenAI was Elon Musk was a co-founder, co-owner, and he dipped out in like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Dummy.
Now he's got Gronk on Twitter.
Yeah, now I mean, who knows what that dude's thinking? He's probably thinking, like, I'm just going to do this on my own and really crush it.
Yeah.
And he's gonna start putting ChatGPT in your head.
You know, with the microchip,
the Neuralink, whatever it is. Yeah.
Man, there's a South Park episode I'd love to talk about right now related to that. But anyway.
But Microsoft is about to overtake Apple as actually the biggest company in the world. That's something I would like to bring up as well. We've talked about before how we like Microsoft over Apple, and this is showing you just how far ahead of the game as Microsoft is with innovation still. Even as a $2.5 trillion company, Microsoft is still innovating compared to someone like Apple.
Apple does not.
Which you hear about all the time.
Yeah, they're just not innovating. And I think I had a conversation with somebody this weekend about what happened to the Apple goggles. The VR goggles, weren't we all supposed to be Iron Man and wear goggles everywhere, and what happened? Like, it's gone, right? No one's wearing them, no one buying them. Like, I should like to do some research.
Meta's done the best job with AR, artificial, augmented reality, and then the virtual reality. Facebook's actually done probably the most for that space, which is very interesting.
He dumped billions of dollars into the metaverse.
The one stock
and NFT, like that whole thing, and it's gone. Like
the one stock going to hit. I'm sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did see the Meta, the Quest came out with a new VR headset. The 3, and I looked into it a little bit. It appears to be quite a jump from what it was, and it does have it's very cool. It has like that augmented reality. So you're looking through the glasses and you can see reality, but then you can see people and things animated in there, which isn't easy to do.
Well, if you want to talk about a stock that hits on that exact thing, one of the reasons why the stock was a multi-billion-dollar stock at one point, now it's only $100 million market cap. The stock's Vuzix, VUZI is the ticker. I don't want. This isn't recommendation advice. I want to throw.
We
this
don't
out
own
there.
it.
We don't own it.
You
don't own it.
Okay.
This is a very speculative stock. That's why the stock dropped from a $2 billion market cap to $100 million. But their technology,
they're down 80. What is it? I don't even know what the math. 95%.
Yeah, they're now a $2 stock. It was trading at like 30, I think $40 at one point.
Woof.
But they apparently their technology.
Can I get seconds of that?
Their technology is apparently the best with the most patents around the augmented reality of glasses. So this is kind of where it starts to become a question: is this stock going to get acquired? Is someone like Apple going to come in and say, "Hey, instead of trying to build this from the ground up, we're going to acquire this company for $200-300 million, maybe pay 2-3 times market value, but they get nice software and technology for $300 million, right?" So like this is where M&A activity probably will start to happen, as the valuations of stocks like this have gotten cut so much just because they were very speculative stocks to begin with. A lot of M&A activity could happen within technology, I think, next year. This is an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be so cool to, like, the one area I could really see that is we're looking to redesign our office. It'd be really cool to put some goggles on and walk through this office with, like, I'm sure they do. I'd like to see it, but the people we're working with don't have it.
Well, what about like clothes? If you want to try and clothes, that you instead of actually trying them on, you can like somehow see yourself in some sort of way with the clothes on already. Like there's all kinds of utility cases for this technology.
Yeah. All right.
That was probably 5 minutes. I did not time that. So that was probably about 5 minutes.
So Black Friday is next. So basically the headline of the article we were looking at was essentially 35% of the Black Friday deals are going to be the same exact prices that they are right now. And I'm just going to go and say, start this one off. That seems to be the case for a long time. I don't understand the Black Friday stuff because it doesn't seem like you get that great of deals unless you're looking for something specific, like TV is always a big one. I can see, if you need a couple TVs, and I know like, going out like at 5 a.m. is like a fun thing to do. I'm not questioning
I
that.
don't recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people like it and that's great. But yeah, I've always found better luck, just kind of sifting through the deals online on Friday.
Yeah, or Cyber Monday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I remember growing up back in the day with technology becoming so much more important, like in the mid 2000s. My dad would always be on Newegg every Monday. Cyber Monday, Newegg had the best like tech deals you could.
I remember that. Are they even around anymore?
So I looked
Newegg?
up the stock. They're public stock. Did you know this?
Newegg?
Yes.
The technology like online store, right?
Yeah, like the Amazon of technology, essentially. This stock also has gotten beat down heavily because Amazon's just probably taken their lunch over the past decade. But yeah, I remember that was the thing to do. I would rather be a Cyber Monday shopper. But it's very interesting. The best deals found were packaged goods.
Yeah. So explain what that is, because I had to look it up. Do you know what
You
it
can
is?
explain what it is.
Basically, it's like things we use all the time, like shampoo. Like it's like consumer staples kind of things, like shampoo and perfume and like things like that. Obviously, no technology is going to be on sale. Like the things that don't expect a sale on phones. iPhone's never on sale. It's always going up.
Right.
I've never ever
staple.
seen a sale on an iPhone like 10, 20, 30% off. Hell no.
Nope.
So don't expect that. But they said 35% on that stuff, but that's always
Appliances.
on sale.
I mean, appliances. You always.
Yeah, appliances, maybe a TV or two. I guess that's always the big deals if you need a TV. But they said like they're expecting like furniture to be cut by 10, 20%, but they're not expecting big furniture sales. Yep. And I'm like, why? Well, my question would. Well, I know the answer to that. It's everyone bought everything during the pandemic.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Wasn't
true.
everyone buying everything on Wayfair and beefing
Oh,
up their house and stuff? Who needs a new couch when you bought it 2 years ago?
Yep, that's
when you're
very
locked
true.
in your house.
It's also the margins. I mean, that's what matters the
margins
most.
are-
When it comes
yeah.
to like the actual how much profitability these companies are making when they sell products versus what they get them at, like that's going to determine obviously the sale prices. So the fact that you have some of the biggest discounts in certain areas tells you that you're overpaying most of the time for most of these items anyway.
Oh yeah.
Right? Just something to think about as well.
A lot during the things that I noticed through this last earnings seasons going into the holidays was a lot of the big box stores and things like that said that the manufacturers have been compressed with margins, and they're not expecting a lot of sales this year. A lot of people are they're not buying the overly discretionary items. They're buying Christmas stuff, but they're not spending big dollars this year because everything else is so expensive.
My take would be that I think that companies have learned the game now, meaning that I think companies have learned that no matter what something is priced at, people will still spend the money.
Right.
That's what we've seen this whole entire year. So I think
Until they don't have the money
Well,
to spend on
but
it.
I'm saying, who cares if they discount 10, 15%? I mean, is that really good? Is the experience of Black Friday shopping more important than the actual deal itself at this point?
Yes.
Yep,
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yep. And yeah, that's that's inflation, right? That's the definition of inflation is more dollars chasing fewer goods. And I think that's a lot that has a lot to do with what's going on. And like I mentioned last week, I'm shopping for a car because my lease is up. I've never had so many, kind of take it or leave it offers.
Really? They're not chasing you down?
No, no. They're like, here's the price. We'll see you later. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are willing to walk away. I think that's the thing. Like I'm not going to pay these prices. I don't mind driving whatever I need to drive. But I think the mentality, especially over the last 3 years, is I want this and I'm going to buy it. And if it's on sale, great. If it's not, that's okay too.
I'm trying to at least mix in like some free floor mats or something. Some free window tint. No.
Well, I also don't think people are confrontational anymore either. Like you look at, I know my grandparents' generation, I have my parents' generation, if they thought something was mispriced, I mean, they would let you know about it.
Yeah.
Or they would walk away from a deal just because they didn't want to pay the price. Now it's like, whether or not they're saving money, whether or not
that generation didn't have credit cards either. That
Exactly.
they can rack up and then also apply for new credit and get their limit pushed up.
Yeah, I just know when people are forced into scenarios to buy things nowadays. It's for some reason people just don't push back. It is what it is.
Yeah. All right.
Thanksgiving.
Good luck out there.
Yeah.
Good luck out there.
Good luck
Hope
out
you get
there.
some good deals.
All right. What else?
We got food, $10.
Yeah.
Oh.
You came in hot with this too, Tony. Apparently you've done
I
your
read
research.
it, and I just read the thing, and they were so the TikTok thing said, like, they showed how they got this dinner together in under $10 and within 30 seconds, and I'm like thinking, okay, they spent like $3 on like 2 turkey legs, and then everything else was like $1 for instant mash, and $1 for a pack of frozen Brussels sprouts and
butter,
like a can of gravy and stuff, and a piece of pie for $1. I'm like, so I was looking at this, and I'm like, nowhere in hell does there a store that you can piece that together. How many there was like 7 items. They made 7 different stops to get this. How much did you spend in time and gas. And just travel to get that meal together? So
also, how many like preservatives and additives are added into this like kind of thing as well? It can't be all this stuff.
If
that's
it's
so
cheap, it's very processed, and it's very not good for you.
The whole point of Thanksgiving is like to actually, like, it was almost back in the day. Go hunt your own turkey. Like, go kill the damn animal yourself. Cook it yourself. It's the experience aspect. Like,
another experience.
Why are we so like instant gratification in today's world? Who cares even about the $10? It's more about, I think the more important part to that most people would get excited about is the 28 minutes aspect.
Is the new thing for presidents to pardon the turkey lives? Because Joe just did that.
Did you really?
They've been doing that for a long
Yeah,
time.
everyone just pardons the turkeys, right? They bring them, throw them on the front lawn, and say, go back.
That's animal abuse, guys. Jesus.
Go back.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of the processed foods, so I was at Costco this weekend, and Costco has a pre-made dinner. Did you see that one? Thanksgiving dinner.
I got a lot of stuff. Oh, I did not see it, but I heard about it.
All right, so
explain it to me.
It's $36.
$36.
So it's not $10. That's for sure. But I would say, it's probably in like a 9 by 13 container. It's probably got a good quarter turkey in there. Already seasoned up. They had green beans, mashed potatoes, stuffing. It looked really nice. Yeah, for $36. So
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's the when I don't think about eating healthy all the time, but what has happened recently, like I don't eat at McDonald's anymore, just because every time I go there, I just always feel so awful, and the food is so cheap that and I see all these videos online. It's just like I can't eat that.
That hamburger's been sitting behind my stove for 2 years, and it's got no mold on it. Yeah,
I don't get that. Like it randomly started hitting me. Like it's one day, it felt like eating fast food. Like I was ruined for 2 days. I just felt like garbage for 2 days. It's like, there's before that, it's like you can eat whatever you want and you feel fine. It's just really weird, that kind of getting older aspect of how your body handles certain things. It's annoying. It's really annoying.
Maybe it was COVID. Maybe maybe the way they process and keep the food down, or keep the price down on some
Here
of this
comes the
food.
conspiracies again.
Conspiracy theory.
Well, that's not a conspiracy. Have you heard about their French fries?
No.
Yeah. So
not made of real potatoes?
No, they're real potatoes, but the chemical that they have to put on them. If you ever notice the French fries at McDonald's, they don't have any, brown spots or, knots, I think they're called. That's because they add a chemical when they're growing the potatoes. And when they harvest them, they basically have to put them in a shed for 6 to 8 weeks, I want to say, because they're toxic. They have to off-gas all the, pesticides that they put on them. To make them that way.
Making like real French fries out of a baby fry, it's so good.
Yeah,
it just
they taste good.
They just really good.
You gotta get them right out of the fryer, but yeah, if you do that,
fair fries.
All right, I just came up with the cancel before we get in the stock picks. The cancel topic is gonna be Matt Canada.
Oh yeah,
Matt Canada.
Matt Canada is canceled. The Steelers' offensive coordinator.
Oh,
who got fired
right.
from the game. So
yeah, I just found out when I sat down here. If you don't know who that is, he's been a very, very hot topic around the NFL. There's Fire Canada chants going on all over the country.
So he's the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, every Pittsburgh Steeler game, the chants go, Fire Canada. Dun, dun,
dun.
But, I mean, what do you do when you're given a quarterback like Pickens?
I know, man.
Everyone's given, Bill Belichick, like, is he on the hot seat? Be like, that dude's won 1,000 championships in the last 25 years. He obviously loses a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah, he's going to suck for a few years. Like, he doesn't get a pass.
Yeah.
I got to commend, though, like, the Steelers, though, man. Like, I'm, Browns fan, but, like, Tomlin always seems to put some kind of winning-ish team on the field.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it this year, man. I really don't. You guys you guys didn't look great Sunday either, but you guys looked a hell of a lot better, I still think, than the Steelers.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Browns are missing their 2 best players.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's close things down here with some stock picks. So we thought we'd each come to the table with, a name or two, kind of. What is this for? Just kind of going forward or for 2024?
No, I just like it's, going into a holiday. I'm like, hey, what do you guys like right now? Like stocking stuff or kind of idea. Could be something our firm owns, something you own personally. Make sure you disclose it.
Yeah. Well, I don't own this. I'll go mine first, I guess. I don't own it yet, but I'm thinking about pulling the trigger. Personally, it's stock we don't own currently right now. I don't even think we would take a look at it just because it has way too much debt on their balance sheet. It doesn't fit our strategy. But I'm looking at Advanced Auto Parts. Stock's gotten absolutely hammered this year. I think it was trading close to like to $150, $200 a share at the beginning of this year and of last year. Now it's down to $50 a share.
So it's down 70%?
Down a ton. But I know we do like firm-wide, we do like the auto industry. Cars are the oldest they've ever been, fleets.
Mm-hmm. How are the other ones? Do you know how like maybe
all the other stocks
Ollie or AutoZone are doing?
They're rocking. They're like at all-time highs.
So you're hitching your wagon to bad management?
Yeah, O'Reilly I think is the best. O'Reilly's the best. Well, they just got a new CEO. That's one of the reasons why I'm pulling the trigger. It's a turnaround story. New management team coming in there. They're selling off the Canada business. They're going to focus more on the U.S. business, turn that into more of a profitability to make the margins look a little better over the long term. So it's more of a turnaround story. It's why it's risky. It is speculative. They do have a lot of debt on the balance sheet. Just cut their dividend. I'm looking at Advanced Auto Parts. Maybe start dollar cost averaging in a little bit on my own personal money.
Interesting. I like that
that's
take.
a good one, yeah.
That's a good.
I was trying to
See,
find one of
Tony
those.
always gets mad at me. He's like, you don't come prepared, He's always just coming off the cuff. Well, I just pay attention every single second of the day.
Knows. He just knows.
He's just dialed in. It's like the Matrix. All right, what do you got, Derek?
I'll go. So mine is I've talked about it before. I just missed on this one, even though I have identified it as a company I liked a long time ago. Never pulled the trigger. CRM, so Salesforce.com. I was trying to find one of those beaten up stocks as well, but this is actually in our portfolio. I believe Select Equity. So more of the growth portfolio. It's up big, but it's still down from its all-time high. It's around $225 right now, and I think the all-time high broke through 300. So it's had a big year so far, but everything in the tech sector has. And the reason that I like it, I think Mark says this all the time. It's a mission critical stock, right? It's something that if you buy into the the Salesforce system, is your CRM for your company. You're not getting rid of it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was trying to look for. My theme was if the economy slows or there's even a recession next year, what could survive? So that's why I picked that one. It's also like a lot of other tech companies. Was like super bloated with too many employees. They made a couple of bad acquisitions. They seem to have cleaned a lot of that up over the last 18 months. So CRM.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine is Aspen Aerogels. So I've talked about. So I own this, and so does the firm. And I've talked about it. I've talked about it like earlier in the year. On like if I was on TV or whatnot. So what they do is they make like this insulate. They have a product called Pyrothin, and basically it's an insulator around the batteries of electronic vehicles, EVs, to prevent fires. And it's a what do they call that? Technology that's patented. They got a patented idea. And then they're starting to sell it to other bigger automakers.
Yeah, like license it or something.
Yeah, they license it, they sell it, they sell their product. So They made a couple big announcements already this year. They're expecting to make more announcements. They have a backlog of work. They've recapitalized their debt. They're building a second factory, so like the growth initiative is there, especially with the drive of, you know, and the green initiative drive for EVs and things like that. But I talked about it earlier in the year. It was $11 a share. Back in April and August, it dipped down to like 5 or 6. It's back up around like 10.
Yeah.
And I think it just got sold off with a lot of that. As interest rates were going up all year, I think small businesses that had debt were just getting crushed.
Yeah.
You know, and if you weren't the top 7 companies of the S&P 500, you just had a bad year. Yeah. But this company is back to where it was earlier in the year, and it's got a good vision. Yeah. I think it's got good potential in a very infancy. The AVs are in infancy, I would say. You know, not everyone has them. I don't know what. So I like them.
It's been a very up and down year for them. Like, the only reason I know that, because I paid close attention to it, I did a lot of research, you know, with the team to pitch that like in February or March of earlier this year on like a Maria show. Moises Maria. And I've been watching it since, because like I pitched it like at 850, and this is why you just never know with timing, because we're looking at stock for more of a long-term investment. As long as we still believe in the thesis, we don't think nothing major's changed. I know we like bought it, you know, near like the $859 mark. I think it was right around there. Don't quote me on that. And then we dollar cost average. We actually took in second position in there, like lower at 6 or 7 to dollar cost average into that position. And now we're at, you know, it's higher than when we bought it at. But we went through a lot of rough phases with that. I just know it's very interesting. You know, just market timing. It's as long as no big thesis has changed on the stock. Sometimes valuations can go up and down, you know, on a yearly basis, on an intraday basis. But the story, for the most part, it makes sense.
The story's there, and you know what? I mean, if they land a couple big more contracts, you know, sky's the limit. And then they're also a smaller company. They're only a $750 million market cap. I mean, they're not even $1 billion. They're very small.
They're in a growing space.
Yep, I like them. So I pushed some chips in on them.
Yeah, 2 car stocks.
2
Almost.
cars, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. One's for the dinosaur cars and one's for the new cars.
I like it. That's a good take.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. We kind of already covered Thanksgiving, so I don't think we need to do it again. But hope you guys have a great break, maybe long weekend. If you have any questions, comments for us, let us know at info@swpconnect.com, and we'll talk to you next week.
The opinions expressed in the podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any investment, legal, financial, or tax strategy. It is only intended to provide education about the financial industry. Please consult a qualified professional about your individual needs.
Hot takes.